with the face who runs the place, T-Roy, the OG on the marquee, Jaybird, and the cat who runs the chat with the stats, Statman Surge. We are Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. We're not a Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We're not the Quad City Sports Talk radio show. We are your Quad City Sports Talk radio show. Welcome to the conversation, Quad Cities. But first, the Dawn.
Hello, Quad Cities. Welcome to the greatest show on earth, Don't Hassle Us Local. Thanks for tuning in today. Jaybird, T-Roy in the house. We could have hoped for a better first week to the tournament.
Yeah.
Especially my bracket.
Uh-huh.
I have, of the Sweet 16, Jay.
Yep.
I have a whopping 5.
Ooh. That is I didn't even
Condolences
think about that.
to all the Hawkeye and Illini fans out there.
Mm-hmm.
Both taking an early exit out of the tournament, along with the entirety of the Big Ten except for Michigan. So when you fill out your bracket Big Ten heavy like T-Roy did, you end up with probably the worst bracket in America. Good God, Jay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 16 left.
You're better than me.
It's not bad. Yeah, the weekend, obviously starting on Sunday. Not too fun, the Illinois game. Just, I don't know what you can say about that. Considering I've seen 3, 4, 5 Illinois games going into that one. The only thing I would say is that defense for Loyola was incredible. And
yeah, well, they shut down their star.
Yeah.
But I thought that young man showed a lot of class and character. I thought both Iowa's and Illinois' seniors went out with style, even though they lost.
Ooh. The common theme between Iowa and Illinois is lack of adjustment by their coaching. All right?
Yeah, I'm not getting into that. I'm just talking about the players themselves. A lot of class.
Going out with class for Iowa, but I have some other reservations and problems, and I think maybe it starts, not really with Fran or whatever else, but I just have a lot of things to kind of think about Iowa basketball and individual players as a sense. Yeah, Garza went out with class, and don't get me wrong, it's funny, out of all the things, and he may be like the goofball on the golf course or the goofball on TNT or whatever else, but Charles Barkley's no dummy. I mean, he came out, and you heard the halftime show of that Iowa game, and they said, Charles, you're right. You said it right. Let Luka play his game if he's the coach. Let Luka play his game, make the other 4 beat you. What did Oregon do? What do you end up with, 32 and 16 or something like that?
Yeah.
So he only missed like 4 or 6 shots or something. But no one else could beat him. J-Bo was blank the entire time.
J-Bo looked bad. I mean, really bad. I mean, just those guys were just way too athletic for him, I think, in the end.
The adjustments are not made until the 17-minute mark of the second half when Connor has to come out, because now it comes out he has tears to each labrum in his hips. Okay, here's where my problem is. The amount of excuses that came afterwards is unacceptable. And this has nothing to do with Spencer Lee and his no ACLs that he wrestled on or anything like that. I'm just saying, reading the paper today from Doxy and the quotes that he used, Connor's got tears in each labrum in his hip. He's going to have surgery. Wieskamp hurt his ankle again. J-Bo's beat up. Frederick's beat up. Okay.
Then why are they starting?
Why are they starting? Thank you. Why is it now all of a sudden in the 17th, 15th minute, now we see Keegan and Chris both on the floor and Joe T on the floor? The crazy thing about this is, as I'm thinking about this whole show and talking about...
By the way, Joe T played his butt off.
I'm going to get to him.
I thought Patrick McCaffrey looked good.
I thought Patrick did well, too.
Keegan did well.
Yes.
I mean, my take from it is we have some youth.
Okay.
You didn't have that take?
I do. So here's my take for you. I may not know a lot about basketball, the X's and O's of it or anything like that, okay?
Okay.
But I do know this. In person, nobody, in person, you or all the people then combined listening here right now, because I'm pretty sure Kakert's on his way back. He's not listening to us, but if he is, he can raise his hand.
Better be listening.
If Doxy's listening, he can raise his hand. If Koss is listening, he can raise his hand. If Batterson's listening, he can raise his hand. But other than that, that company excluded, okay? You and everybody listening on ESPN 1170 in their cars or on the app or in computers or watching us on Facebook Live, all you combined have not seen the Hawkeyes play live as much as I have this season. That's a fact.
Yeah.
I told you earlier in the year, keep your eye on Keegan Murray.
Right.
And I also said Joe T is the most athletic person on that floor. And at times he shows it. He really does. And at times he shows his youth and those mistakes that he made. The Illinois game, for example. Those 3 turnovers were costly in the matter of like 5 minutes. I feel like sometimes things like that happen, the turnovers, and then he gets in Fran's doghouse and he doesn't have a chance to show those signs of brilliance or athleticism. But he tried to spark that team back yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm really, really worried the transfer portal is going to be open for Joe T. I really am. They just don't seem like him and Fran are on this. I don't even know if they're in the same library. I could be completely wrong, and there could be transcripts out in there from Zoom meetings that I'm way off, but this is just what I see, the little things I see. Now, here's my other thing, and we'll get to it later. I get that social media is a very strong presence, and I get that it's important. And I know a year ago we're talking about social justice, and now we're transferring into we're going to make it player justice for our name, image, and likeness. And I understand all of it. I've read just as much as everybody else. I've listened to podcasts, and I understand that they have every right to make some money off of something they can do. If you are an education major, you should be able to tutor someone. If you are in music, you should be able to go play live music somewhere and make money. If you're a walk-on, you should be able to do something and go back to, I don't know, Calamus Wheatland and have a basketball camp and make money. Hey, he's a walk-on. He used to play here. I get all of it, but spending that time because now you're on a platform of March Madness and say not NCAA property, to use it to your advantage, but then not really do much, okay. And that's J-Bo. I mean, his focus in there. And I'm not going out there like everybody else on social media that says, like, remember after the meter wars? And he was like 0 for 11. And people, and Kaker was on here. And people are all over him saying he's too worried about Twitter. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying use your focus on other things.
All right.
I get everything that it's saying because I don't want anyone to think like, well, wait, Jay, when they're doing the CBA and the MLB, you're on the side of the players, not the owners. And I am on the side of the players, the NCAA as well. But I just think when you're taken to this huge social justice thing, sometimes it's taken a little too far. Sometimes we need to realize our opinion matters when it's asked. And that goes for a lot of people. That also goes to people on social media that want to use their opinion when it's not asked. You know, and that's not just anything else. I mean, it's never fun to read that Illinois is investigating racial posts directed at Kofi.
Well, Kofi, I didn't hear about Kofi taking it, but the kid Liddell from Ohio State.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yep.
he was taking some stuff. I mean, the stuff this guy was
that's
saying.
That's
E.J.
Liddell. It's got that, yeah. Yeah. So the message that E.J. Liddell had from someone that said something as like, I hope you die, I really do. So,
he even
Kofi
said
Coburn,
he called him
he called him and then racist insults,
he called him a lot of things.
Yeah. So, and then Kofi Coburn, he had racist comments on social media following the loss to the NCAA tournament.
How do you blame Coburn for that loss?
Coburn shared on Instagram a racist social media post directed him after the top-seeded Illini lost to number 8 Loyola Chicago on Sunday. He would Coburn, who was this is on ESPN.com, the ESPN news services, by the way. Coburn who was born in Jamaica but later moved to New York, posted a screenshot of the post and responded by writing, "I blame his parents," and he's not wrong.
He's not wrong at all. Unreal. I mean, if you're going after these kids on social media, you have
so it's not just the players; it's just everybody. When your opinion matters, it is asked of. How's that?
Yeah, and I can listen. You can sit here and say that J-Bo didn't have a good game. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But going out and attacking him on social media or attacking Coburn on social media, I don't think Coburn had a bad game. I mean, the team got beat. If anybody, AL had the worst of the two games. But their defensive focus was on Ayo. You could tell. They weren't letting him get anything going with this game. So, I mean, one, hats off to Loyola for what they did, and hats off to Oregon. By the way, that Oregon team's going to be something. Let's just remember that team next year when we're talking about who's going to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that freshman that came off the bench from, God, they said what country he was from, and now I can't remember for the life of me. But the dude was like 7 foot, and he could just hop like you couldn't believe. Man. So, listen, a lot of talent out there. Big Ten.
Oh, yeah. Not pretty at all. With the Big Ten. Let's see.
I mean, all we heard all year was how good the Big Ten was. And we were saying how good the Big Ten was, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Wrong.
Well, what you're alluding to is March Madness is definitely madness right now. The combined number of seeds is at 94.
Well, listen to this, Jay.
Mm-hmm.
We have 4 teams in the Sweet 16 who are 11 seed or higher.
Mm-hmm.
2 11s and 2 12s. Okay?
Yes.
We only have 2 1 seeds.
Yeah.
2 1 seeds made it. Okay? 2 2 seeds.
Mm-hmm.
1 3 seed. 1 4 seed. 2 5 seeds.
Yep. And we have a 6 and a 7.
6, 7, and an 8.
Mm-hmm.
My Lord.
And you're going to go 12, 11, 15. 2 15s made it, right? Or no?
No.
Yeah, no, 2 15 1s. 2 15s 1. Now 2 15. Yeah, so the combined seeds in this year's Sweet 16 add up to 94, which beats the old record of 89 set in 1986. For reference, 2 years ago, the combined seeds in 2019 added up to just 49, which is not what was predicted. Because of the season that it was in, everyone was saying it's pretty much go chalk. After the first round, just go chalk.
Yeah.
Just go chalk. That was the prediction everywhere, and it is not like that at all. I don't know what that shows.
Oregon USC is going to be a battle. I think Oregon wins that. I can't wait to do these predictions, Jay. This is going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to, in the second half, we're going to do guess the lines of the Sweet 16 just to show how much we know about college basketball. I haven't looked at any lines yet. I'm pretty sure T-Roy hasn't either.
No.
So then we're going to do our 16 on the way out. That being said, all right. Here we go down the list. Let's go back to Iowa basketball. Jabo's beat up. Frederick's beat up. Wieskamp obviously tweaks his ankle. Goes back to this. Why was he playing in the Big Ten tournament? And even if you tell me it's the opposite ankle, because I really don't know any better, and that's fine with me, why was he playing in the Big Ten tournament?
We had Kickard sit here right here and tell us they weren't too concerned about playing him.
And so we still haven't made the Sweet 16 since 1999, Dr. Tom's lame duck year. All these injuries or whatever else, it just... if you look it up, I think Jake Gervais, former, he's from the Quad Cities, played at Iowa. He made a reference to the two teams. One team was happy to be able to participate and won a national title. The other team spent their time complaining about on Twitter, on social media, and made excuses and left in the second round. Obviously, he's alluding to the wrestling team versus the basketball team. Now, immediately, first thing I'm thinking is, hey guys, once again, your opinion doesn't matter, but when you are involved in the University of Iowa family and you played athletics there, that opinion matters a little bit to me. It adds weight. Not NCAA property. Friend of the show, Pat Anger, he doesn't like those people. He flat out said it. I think he's on Facebook now. I don't think he's on Twitter anymore. But he's like, these guys are a bunch of wimps. We got a phone call.
Love it.
All right, ready?
Yep. Thanks for calling into the show. Who do we got on the line?
No, that'll work. Okay.
Thanks for calling into the show. Who do we have on the line?
You got good old Ron Mexico on the phone, fellas. Good
Love
afternoon, Jay and Troy.
What's up, Mr.
I just
Mexico?
want you guys to know that you guys seem like you're semi-intelligent people.
Semi.
At least that's what you play on the radio.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen a bigger robbery than you did over this last couple days? The NCAA tournament has robbed the Big Ten in multiple games. I can't take it. I haven't seen robbery like this since the last election. Now, we'll talk about that at a different time. But let's move on. Let's talk about how I'm going to go ahead and ask the commissioners put a full-on investigation on the NCAA for seeding these teams unreliable. I don't even know where he was going with this. So I want him to do a full investigation on the NCAA, and if he has what God gave him in between the legs, he'll do it. Now, if he doesn't have the giblets to do it, don't worry. Around Mexico, he's got a lawyer on retainer. Now, he's not so good at these situations, but he specializes in bird law. So
bird law? Jay, you said bird law and giblets on one sentence.
Yeah.
You know, Jay, we have a story about that.
Now, it's not fair to these kids. That's what I'm getting at. Now, I don't like the Hawkeyes so much. And that kid they call Luka Garza. I mean, Jay, I don't know if you know this, but every time I look at him, I want to know is winter going to be longer this year or not? And that's a reference to Caterpillars, if you did not know that.
Yeah,
so,
I get you.
I also,
yeah, I got you.
That being said, that kid played his heart out, and I hate to see them lose like that. I hate to see how the Michigan team had to fight and scratch their way back because of unfair refereeing. I thought for sure that they were going to rob the Big Ten of all their teams in the tournament. So that's why I'm calling in today, just to tell you that they need to launch a full investigation. And if they don't do it, I got my retainer on my lawyer, and my lawyer's not so good. So if you guys could flow me that number of the lawyer that's a player's lawyer, that Troy's friend is, I think he's tried to pick up for Iowa not too long ago, but maybe he can help old Ron out.
Okay.
Much be appreciated. You guys have a great day. We'll talk to you later.
Love it.
All right.
Okay.
So great.
Where do I go from there? Where do I start with this?
Let's start with the giblets.
Oh, okay. There was that reference because on Friday we did, obviously with the game or whatever else, but we set up an appointment with cryotherapy out there at 40 Drop on 53rd. Nice people out there. They were great.
Lindsay and Megan.
Maddie.
Yeah, Lindsay and Maddie. So we told him we make him famous.
I did. You did your, and I need to put a post that you did your foot. How is your foot, by the way?
It's it's fine.
Okay, and then I did a full body the temperature drop thing in the video. We did it. You can go to my own personal page. It's okay. It was I had a softball tournament the next day, so I had to throw. It was still a little stiff. Not too much, but the thing is, it was explained to me like this, and they said, you go to a chiropractor, and some people go for pain, and they want to get adjusted once, and they want to walk away.
Yeah.
And some people go, and the chiro can say like, hey, we're gonna need to see you maybe 2 or 3 times a week for X amount of time. And it was explained to me ahead of time, like, hey, you may need to be the type of person that needs to come back multiple times. I'm not going to do that. It's just not going to be me. I'll take some time off and relax it and whatever else, but I'm just relying on good old-fashioned heat and ice and relaxation. But it was, there's an energy rush and everything else. I had multiple people ask me about it. And so, yeah, when it said something, when it was cold in there, I said, it's my giblets or whatever else, a little cold.
I was like, how your giblets doing?
Yeah, and then, all right, so, but that, again, lots of thanks to those people.
So
check them out
how are
on
your giblets doing?
Yeah, everything was fine.
They
I didn't
shrunk
lose,
up, right?
It's not like I was, like, in pain or anything like that, to be honest. I was cold for a little bit after I was shivering.
My toe, that hurt my toe?
Yeah, yours was like 2 times the amount of, like, temperature. That's what she said, I think.
Yeah, well, it was a lot colder, and then it went longer. It was like 10 minutes on my foot, so eventually it started to hurt.
I told you
at first, like pain was like a 3, and then it got up to like a 6, and I was like, all right.
Yeah, you were tough.
Thanks, Jay.
Yep. All right. Going back to the seeding part of it, Koss said something on Twitter. He's like, they got this wrong. This should have been a third round matchup, a Sweet 16. Loyola.
Well, let's go through and look at who we think was misseeded. You brought up Loyola.
Yeah.
I think we can tell right away Loyola. I think Oregon was misseeded.
7. Well, you wouldn't have known ahead of time. Yeah, where are you going to put them up higher at, though?
I mean, is Oregon State misseeded at a 12? I mean, they beat Tennessee and Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse at an 11.
Oregon State, didn't they beat Oregon in the first round? They did. They beat Oregon in the first round of the Pac-12 tournament. That might have hurt.
I thought Oregon won the Pac-12
They
tournament.
won the regular season.
Gotcha.
Colorado won the Pac-12 tournament.
Gotcha. Now, Syracuse is in the Sweet 16, if I remember correctly.
They are in the Sweet 16, and that has a lot to do with what Stocking told me no when he was in here. But the zone defense is something legit when it comes to the March Madness. Remember that every year.
Okay. Well, I got 4 teams for sure I think were misseeded. I don't think North Texas was. That's a true upset.
West Virginia probably could move down if you're going to move someone back up a little bit higher to try to move some things around.
Right. I don't think Creighton was wrong. UCSB, Ohio, was that really a situation where Ohio was wrong, or was it a situation where Virginia was beat up because of COVID?
That a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
But everything else I think seemed to be right. But there's 4 teams that were definitely, like you said, Oregon's probably more a 3 seed.
Yeah, 3's pretty high. Yeah.
Yeah, but I say 3 more of a 3 seed. Oregon State's probably more of a 7 seed.
Yeah, I mean, look at Kansas. Kansas got a 3, and they didn't play in their Big 12 tournament.
Yeah.
So they got beat up by USC. That was that's their worst loss since 1974 in the NCAA tournament, and that was against Kentucky. I mean, they got beat up by USC. So Kansas shouldn't have been up that high. If Oregon loses their first round and Kansas doesn't even participate, Kansas shouldn't have been up that high. Purdue didn't look very good at a 4. What else can I look at here?
Oh yeah, Purdue could move down. I think Iowa, Illinois were right where they should have been where they're at.
I think that was locked in. I can't argue about where they were.
Right.
Where that was. I didn't like where
maybe Purdue moves down. Wisconsin was probably right at a 9. I think that was fine, but
there's not too much off. But if anything, what he's also talking about is the refereeing. I mean, there was a moment in that Illinois Loyola game where Frazier went up to the basket and legitimately got pushed in front of the referee, and the referee just kind of, as Frazier looked up, the referee just kind of looked at him, and he has a whistle in his mouth. The referee's just kind of like looking at him as he's like stepping over him to get down the court. And they were at the time they're like Frazier's down, like he looks like he's hurt, and that it was real physical.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of messages on my thing where Bo Borowski's a referee, and keep in mind they were down a significant amount of referees. Usually they brought in.
Why does everybody hate Borowski? It doesn't matter what fan base it is. Everybody hates that guy. Why is he allowed to ref then?
It's a fun thing to do, I guess. All right, so we've got a couple other things to talk about. We can talk about the NCAA.
Got to talk some NFL free agency.
Yeah, we've got NFL free agency
stuff down right now.
We've got mock draft Monday. We've got guess the lines coming up for the NCAA. Maybe we'll do that soon. We got the Deshaun Watson thing to talk about.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the odd thing about it is we're going to talk about it openly, where I've just been secretly laughing about in my head about how much people, the talking heads, the media giants don't want their talking people to talk about it because they're afraid to offend, everybody. It's really, if you really break it down and listen to how people are talking about this situation, they're not talking about it. The Athletic, on the other hand, Athletic.com was very much.
Well, that's a teaser. Well, let's talk about it when we come back.
We'll talk when we come back. And I got this for you. The cold question I was supposed to ask you when we open, all right?
Okay, cold question.
Cold question. If you could bring back one trend or fad that you had in the past, what would it be? One trend or fad in the past, what would it be? And I can give you some examples of what I was thinking when we come back from here. And then during our next break, I've got our trivia question of the.
So you want my answer after break?
Yeah, just one. Yeah, if you could bring back a fad, it doesn't have to just be just one thing, but like something that we don't do anymore. That's a trend, or that was a fad back then. It can be fashion. It can be something that you would do day to day. And there's a couple that I have in my head, but we will be right back. ESPN 1170 AM, and we'll talk about Deshaun Watson and talk about and share what the Athletic's writing about it.
All right, guys, it is time. It is time to tell everybody to stop using social media for anything. Period. Jay already laid it out. Too many people got opinions we don't need. The only opinion you need are the ones that have been given to our friends at Locals Love Us. They have this guide walking around. And it tells you what people like, I should say, when it comes to getting their oil change, getting a tattoo, or grabbing a place for lunch. Or you can check it out online at locusloveus.com. You click on Quad Cities and you browse your favorites. It's easy to use, and they're ranking the most popular places for you. So please, check them out today. That's Locals Love Us, so your guide to the best.
All
right, what did you have?
Burning, snapping necks, and catching.
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah! You like that? You like that?
This is Randall, the QC hot dog guy. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
Sports bettors, are you ready? You can now experience Iowa's premium sportsbook from the comfort of your own home. Download the PointsBet app now and use code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. When you bet with PointsBet, you get faster bets, faster withdrawals, and faster rewards at your fingertips. All on an easy-to-use app rated #1 on Trustpilot. See for yourself why bettors are calling PointsBet innovative, lightning quick, and the reason why they've ditched the other books. Download the app now to experience Iowa's premium sportsbook for yourself, and don't forget to sign up with code Iowa2K to get 2 risk-free bets up to $2,000. What do you have to lose? And PointsBet is giving customers the power to choose their own bad beat refund for March college basketball. Send us your bad beat for college basketball between 3/18 and 4/5 that you'd like refunded after the tournament. Your bet will be refunded in free bets up to $50. So, are you ready? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
For the brightest hand-selected diamonds, come to Dolan Jewelers. This is Will Dolan, and we want to offer the best diamond experience for every client and every occasion. At Dolan Jewelers, we carry the most popular shapes and sizes, as well as a huge inventory of lab-grown diamonds. With custom goldsmiths right here in our store, your experience will be convenient, easy, and fun. Visit us at 3865 Elmore Avenue in Davenport or online at dolanjewelers.com.
We just expanded our lot at Weber Auto Group. What's that mean for you? Now's the time to buy. Bigger selection, better deal, lower prices. Plus the Weber warranty. And every car we sell gets our 52-point inspection. So call us, visit our website, or better yet, come see us in our new showroom in Silvis. Weber Auto Group, your 5-star dealer.
The college basketball tournament is back, and Circle Tab is your place to catch every game. Throwback $2 Bud family cans during all tournament games and take in all the action on one of their 17 flat-screen TVs. Enjoy the patio and enter to win tons of prizes. They'll be giving away Circle Tap basketball jerseys throughout the tournament and enter to win one of 3 full-size Pop-A-Shot basketball arcade games during the semifinals, finals, and the championship game. Catch all the college hoops at Circle Tap, West Locust Street, Davenport.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. It's another giant free agent signing in New York as former Titans corner Adoree Jackson is joining the Giants on a 3-year deal worth $39 million. This according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Injuries limited the former first-round pick to just 14 games the past 2 seasons. Meantime, NFL Network's Mike Silver reports the Packers are trying to clear cap space to become more active in free agency by restructuring the contract of Aaron Rodgers. Silver adds that the terms changed in the deal could give an idea of Green Bay's long-term commitment to the quarterback. In other news, the Niners re-signed starting safety Jaquaski Tart to a 1-year deal, while the Raiders gave new starting center Andre James a 3-year, $12 million extension. And the Colts are signing former Chargers starting left tackle Sam Tevy as a potential blindside protector for Carson Wentz. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
What's in store right now at your local Staples?
Your one-stop shop for shipping solutions.
Staples has everything your business needs to ship, like packing materials, mailers, and UPS shipping services.
And now, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services at Staples. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on decorative shipping supplies.
Staples can even help you customize your shipping materials to create a memorable unboxing experience for customers.
Staples, your total shipping solution.
In-store only. Ends 4/3/21. Exclusions apply while supplies last.
The push to the 2021 NFL Draft is on, and it all starts with Pro Days. The top prospects from the top schools put to a final test. Get a glimpse of the next generation of NFL stars.
Devontae Smith, Kyle, hit Zach Wilson, score!
Everyone's watching, and NFL Network is here for it. Who will become a star on Pro Day and move up on Draft Day?
That's a
Touchdown for Justin Fields.
Pro Days, over 90 schools all month long on NFL Network.
Download our app today to get breaking news sent right to your phone. Never miss a thing. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM.
Welcome back, everybody, to the show. Thanks for tuning in to Don't Hassle Us, our local here on AM 1170 and on Facebook Live.
All right, before we went to break, and the cold question doesn't have to be answered right now. It's just something you can think about. The cold question was just, and most questions I asked T-Roy are not preps, and most of them are cold anyway, but it's not a trivia question, just a good old-fashioned cold question. If you could bring back one trend or fad, what would it be and why? But we'll get through that in a little bit. All right, before we went to break, what?
All right.
Before we went to break, I was talking about the Deshaun Watson thing and how the more and more I listen to all the stuff that's coming out and reading more about it so that I'm a little bit more educated, I find it odd how much it is, the line is towed. I wouldn't say no, it's tap danced around the
Right.
what's going on, because no one wants to make any accusations for fear of alienating some group or somebody in some way or another. And that being said, if these things come out against a politician, usually we're cancel culture's close. All right, I mean, we're not too far away from. All the things that we're just not too far away from Dr. Seuss cancel culture or Pepe Le Pew. By the way, let's do that, Pepe Le Pew.
Okay.
Make some unwanted advances on poor Penelope or whatever her name is.
Right.
The cartoon.
Mm-hmm. Got taken off the movie.
Let me take you through how this whole thing works in my head, all right, Deshaun Watson. It's something I even talked to you last week, and I said I wasn't going to say that on the air, but I'm going to now. And I'm going to tell you where things get turned and where I'm like, I'm a little wrong, I think, here. I don't know. So originally, this is what I start thinking. You hear there's things that women are coming out saying that these masseuse, and this is like, I think, last time we were on the air was on Thursday. It was at 3. 3 of them have come forward on Thursday and come forward and said, hey, there's unwanted advances, all this stuff. This lawyer comes out and he's like, hey, I've got this collection of women. I think more are coming. It's going to be a civil lawsuit, but really he's saying they don't want anything. They want to expose this person for exposing himself, pun intended. So, that was 3 on Thursday. As of this morning, it's 14. So when I was talking to you...
Good God.
Yeah. When I was talking to you, I said, is there any chance that this is a plant by the Houston Texans? And I said I wasn't going to say that on the air because I don't want people to come forward and be like, oh, you don't believe the women or anything like that. That's not it at all. There are certain things that are kind of odd. The lawyer for the women is Cal McNeil's neighbor, the owner of the Texans. Right away, you're like, oh, that's kind of strange. Their neighbors are they're neighborly, right? You would say. So that kind of throws you off. And then, you don't get a lot of news because no one wants to give you too much because they want it. Trust me, I'm listening. So I was driving to Monticello, listening to Sports Talk Radio, and they're like, well, we have to talk about it, but we're going to let due process play itself out here. Since when has sports media ever been let due process play itself out?
24, I'm being told, by the way.
24?
Yeah.
10 more came out?
That's what Eddie's saying.
The 14th, that's this morning. The 14th became public. So in the afternoon, 10 more came out. All right. So then the reports are coming out on Monday that these masseuses were hired, but it was alluded to that they were hired by the Houston Texans, whatever else. It's alluded to at the time. So as I'm talking to friends of the weekend, I'm like, well, that's kind of weird. Wouldn't Houston eventually be like, hey, we can't even get women to come in here anymore? Why did they not stop him? Well, it's not the case. It's because the media, either they're not getting the whole story because they don't want to, or they don't want to share anything or whatever else, because what they don't want to do is they don't want to offend Deshaun Watson and his camp in the NFL. And what they also don't want to do is they don't want to offend the Me Too movement, all right? Because they don't want to say one thing or the other. They just want due process to happen, and then we'll do it. Come out. Now, I don't believe really that this is a Houston Texans leak thing. It just, some of the circumstances are just kind of out there. And The Athletic's really the only one that comes forward with a lot of stuff. And the more I read this, I was like, this is nuts.
Lay it on me.
Okay. Yes, so Tony Busby is the Houston attorney. And as of this morning in the Athletic article, it said he planned to file at least 12 cases against Watson, but he had met with 10 additional women about filing similar complaints. So on 6 more lawsuits appeared on Monday. So let's take a look.
These are all civil lawsuits.
Yes. They're collecting stuff. All right, I'll get to that. But
all right, just to break this down for everybody. A civil lawsuit means that he has not been charged with any sort of felony or misdemeanor.
That's right. They have not. So all the information that he's gotten.
So just to break this down again for everybody so you understand, OJ was found
guilty in a
civil court,
but innocent
in a criminal court.
Yes.
Okay.
So you have to be 99.9% sure that he did it, and civil you'll have to be 51%. So let's just go with Busby the lawyer. An Instagram posted it on Saturday. He said his team would be submitting affidavits and evidence from several women to the Houston Police Department and Harris County District Attorney's Office on Monday morning and will request a grand jury to consider the evidence. The Houston police said on Friday that they were not aware of any contact between Busby and its department regarding the alleged assaults. Under Texas law, Busby could submit the evidence and affidavits directly to a grand jury without assistance from the police or district attorney's office. It's very uncommon, though. He does not need to work with the police. He can put this in here. All but 2 of the suits involve plaintiffs who say they were contacted for massage appointments in 2020. The other 2 incidents are also involving massage therapists, allegedly occurred in January and March of 2021. All right. You ready for me to lay it on you?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to try to make this as the least graphic as I can.
Okay.
Okay. The suits allege Watson forced 2 women to perform oral sex. I can't do that. He touched himself in front of the women to the point of arousal, beyond arousal. Am I doing that right? Am I painting a picture?
To ejaculation.
Yeah, there you go, ejaculation, yeah. I grew up to a woman's private area and buttocks and kissed another woman unprompted upon arrival for an appointment. 12 of the 14 publicly available suits accuse Watson of inappropriately touching the women with his penis. One alleges that at the end of a massage, after trying to direct a woman to touch his butt, Watson exposed himself and asked if she did more than professional work for more money. In the 14th suit that became public Tuesday, the plaintiff alleges that Watson exposed his erection to her and put his hand on his penis. She also alleges in the court document that he said, "I won't make you sign an NDA, but don't ever talk about this." It's brutal.
Oof.
Of the 14 women suing Watson, 2 say they had experience working with professional athletes when Watson hired them. Their lawsuits complaints follow similar patterns. Watson typically first contacted women via Instagram where they market their business. He resisted wearing towels to cover his naked body and repeatedly directed women to focus on massaging his groin area and his buttocks. So this isn't a Texans thing where they bring him into the locker room afterwards or, to get out any kinks or, from getting hit.
This was all in his home?
Yeah. His lawyer, obviously, he came out last week and said that it was...
if I'm the Texans, I'm trading him now.
Watson,
right?
Yeah. Well, he could go on the list on NFL until he could not even play.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They got to get rid of him now. This is pretty bad, Jay.
Watson went to Instagram and said that he did, he denies doing any of this, and he also, in a statement last week, he also added that Busby made a baseless 6-figure settlement demand before filing the first suit, which Watson said he quickly rejected. Busby did not address that claim in his Friday news conference. He said that he first made contact with a lawyer from Watson's agency, Athletes First, more than a month ago. And then Watson's agent said sexual assault is real. Victims should be heard. Offenders prosecuted, he said. Individuals fabricate stories in pursuit of financial gain. Often their victims should be heard, and those offenders also prosecuted. I simply hope we keep the same energy with the truth. Houston attorney Rusty Hardin is representing Watson. He said Friday that he would wait to comment in detail until we've completed our review of the numerous evolving allegations from Mr. Busby. We respond next week and ask you to keep an open mind until we do so. Keep an open mind is the best thing we can do. It just does not look good. Again,
if Twitter's right, it's up to 24 women. I mean, come on, man.
And you just open the door like that and be like, no, I don't cover myself. It just doesn't work that way. Like, I've never hired a masseuse like via Instagram, so I don't know how the negotiations go. Like, hey, just to let you know,
Well,
I'm going to be
kind of shady anyway to me.
Yeah.
Like.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I've had a massage a few times in my life, but most of them are at like a spa type place. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Had some massage therapy done at a chiropractor's office.
And you look at this timeline of Watson and the Texans, and he wants to be traded. They're not talking to him when they're making a hire, and everyone coming out and saying like, this guy was here during the hurricane. He's stepped up. He's done X, Y, and Z. He's huge in the community. How can Houston treat him this way? And
well, I would guess that if you're a fan of him, if you're a fan of the team, you're gonna hope that this isn't true. At the same time, I mean, you have to sit back and look at this with just clear glasses on, if I'm using the right terminology here. But usually, Jay, I would say, where there's smoke, there's probably a fire.
Yeah.
I mean, 3, that's a very small little bit of smoke. 24, that's some dark black smoke coming up out of that building. You follow him? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The darker the smoke, the more intense the fire. It just seems, it's very odd. If this is, if we're going to look at this as we tend to look at a lot of other things, it just seems very odd. This is, I mean, those are pretty detailed things.
Yes.
And they seem to collaborate a trend of him acting in a certain way. So that it's like, unless this guy's gone out and got 24 women to lie for monetary gain.
Yeah, and you would assume
you follow what I'm saying. That's a lot of.
I'm not a criminal defense lawyer.
But what I'm getting at is 24 people. If you're trying to get 24 people to make up the same lie, eventually it's going to be hard to keep all 24 people happy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like how I look at conspiracy theories.
Yeah, because
right?
then eventually one's going to be
if it took the entire government and everybody else to assassinate John Kennedy, man.
Yeah.
A lot of people kept that quiet for a long time.
If each one of them thinks they're going to get $2 million, then there's going to be one that goes, well, I want 2.5 because he costed me more. Not saying that happened, but I know what you're saying.
It's going to be hard to keep this lie under.
Yeah, when you say and then they go, well, I'm just going to let everyone know that you kind of just guided these questions to me.
Like, if you and I rob a bank together, it's easier for you and I to be quiet.
Yeah.
Now, if we go rob a bank with 10 guys.
Yeah. Then we're killing 8.
That's right.
Now we're robbing a bank and committing. But no.
I mean, I'm not. Listen, I'm not trying to rush to judgment on him either. I don't want to be what we sit here and rightfully criticize, which is cancel culture, which is jumping to a conclusion with zero.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say zero fact. We don't know if these are facts; these are allegations. So I'm just say, we're not going to jump to conclusions and say, oh, this is fact. But what we can say, man, it really doesn't look good. It doesn't look good at all. If I'm the Texans, I would feel the same way, and they'd be like, hey, you guys that were calling earlier, you're still interested? Because now his trade stock's gone down even more.
Yeah.
And I'd get that done now. But now, if you're another GM...
But then if you fall on the NFL exempt list and he can't play until they come up with... And the NFL hasn't said anything. Texans haven't said anything.
The NFL doesn't want to say nothing. They don't want any part of this. This is... They're terrible at handling this. It's been proven. This is not their area of expertise. I mean, whether it's a guy knocking his girlfriend completely out in an elevator or the dude kicking a girl in the chest at a hotel.
Yeah.
I mean, they're terrible at this. They don't know what to do. I mean, they let other people back in the league that damn near kill their girlfriends. But they don't know what they're doing. They don't, man. Do you take a call for him right now? Let's just say you were a team. You were the Bears, and you'd been calling him. Did you do the Bears? When Houston finally calls you back, if you're the Bears, do you say, sure? I mean, do you think about the kind of city Chicago is?
It is a rock and a hard place. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if you don't take that, if it comes out that you turn down that trade and it's beneficial to you, and it comes out that it's not, some of this is fabricated, you look like someone who doesn't allow due process to happen. If you do it and trade it, come out, then you look at someone who supports someone who accosts women, sexually assaults them.
What makes you think about when you say, when guys like Barkley go, I'm not a role model, I'm an athlete, and these people that look up to these athletes and idolize these athletes and put them on these pedestals, certainly gives you, this is case in point. I mean, listen, this guy was squeaky clean until here, right?
Yeah.
As far as we knew.
Yep.
I never heard hide nor hair. I mean, the kid had a great college career. You never heard anything bad about him at Clemson. I mean,
in roughly, let's see, February's
been in the league 4 years now. Is that right?
Yeah, February 7th was the Super Bowl. Roughly is about that time when it came out that they were like, all right, he wants to be traded. They had already right after that, even maybe the week before. I can't remember if it was the week before, but it was in February that they made the hiring, and he was upset about the GM hiring and the coaching hiring, and then he said he definitely wants out. But somewhere along that line, when he said, I'm definitely not playing, he had that Zoom meeting with the new coach. But this lawyer is saying that he contacted Watson's lawyers over a month ago. So that's before him walking out. So the whole walking out of the Zoom meeting, I guess that's it, logging off. So it kind of throws a little bit off of the, well, he's neighbors, he's friends with Cam McNeil, or neighborly. We can't just say he's friends, but he's neighborly with Cam McNeil and kind of protecting the Texans. That unfortunately, that kind of was the first thing.
That's a lot of people trying to protect the.
That means
the owner's got a lawyer involved, and then the lawyer turned around and got up to 24, possibly up to 24 women involved. Yeah. We'll stick with 14 until we can confirm the 24, but let's just say 14 is still bad enough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a lot of promises made behind closed doors. If this is a frame job.
Yeah, I mean, he's really got to do. He's got to be overly neighborly if this is all a bunch of.
I mean,
hooey, but yeah,
we know some lawyers. I mean, I just have to say. I mean,
yeah,
I don't think lawyers tend to go out there and try to. I mean, we could look up Tony Busby. Is he a ambulance chaser?
Yeah, I guess we can look him up.
I mean, that's the.
He's got to be doing okay if he's neighbors with the owner of the Texans. Yeah.
I mean, just kind of. This is really bad. I mean, I just hope that the right thing happens, right? I mean, that's all you can hope for, that if it is a complete lie, it comes out quickly. And if it is true, what's going to happen? Let's just go to that point. All right, if it is a lie, we know then that he has the right to file lawsuit or whatever against these women.
Mm-hmm.
So
right to file lawsuits, and then he's got a right to look into more about the lawyer and or his relationship with the
now,
owner of the Texans.
If it's the truth,
it's a
civil lawsuit.
He's just going to settle outside of court,
right,
for an undisclosed amount.
That's fine. So we'll say it's probably going to be $5 million per, so it's going to cost him $100 million.
What was it that I told?
It's going to cost him if it's $5 million per.
What did I tell you he could get fined for if he didn't play or whatever else? Did I say it was like $20 million or something like that, up to that, or was it more? If he didn't play, he's playing now. I shouldn't say it like that. I don't want to, but
it's going to cost him $125 million.
Yeah.
All right, just off the top of our heads. That's just what he pays them. What does it cost him when it comes to the NFL?
Well, can the NFL if it's everything's locked up?
Even if it's civil, I don't think it'll matter. If he
well, no, I'm saying that he settles before it goes to that. That's what
I'll give it to you this way. This happened. Something along these lines happened to Zeke Elliott.
Okay.
He was attempted, whatever, allegedly laid his hands on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
No criminal action was ever done. Case was dropped. Whatever else. He got suspended how many games?
Yeah, I think it was 4, wasn't it? Or was it more?
It might have been more than that. But he got suspended quite some time.
Yeah.
So we'll say at least 4 games. And that was just one incident.
Yeah.
We're talking 24. So how many games? How many games? And then how much money does he miss out for being suspended in those games?
Yeah.
Does this then make him not signable, not tradable?
He's not. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're not, until it all comes out, you're not making that trade until we figure out what the NFL is going to do about it. And if you're that defense lawyer, what are you doing? Like, are you really, I mean, hey, you tell me the truth. You're sitting, I guess, I'm sorry, I'm not a defense lawyer. I would assume it kind of goes like the shows where they're like, you tell me the truth, it's between me and you, and we'll work our way from there. And if he's just like, no, I didn't do it, do you push it and be like, do you mind taking a polygraph for me before I want to take this job on?
Yeah, you do.
Yeah?
I guarantee he takes a polygraph.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's see how honest you are with me here. And did you ask them to touch? Did you, do this? Did you direct their hands in this situation? Did you tell this woman that, there's not going to be an NDA, just don't open your mouth about it? Like, you got to go through all the accusations and figure out where you fall at this.
Oof. I did not realize. I mean, I'd been pretty much watching college basketball.
Yeah.
And not following this very far other than what I thought was. When I walked in the store today, I thought it was still at 3.
Yep. Well, like I said, I've listened to a lot of sports talk driving there, back, and this morning, and to me, it just kind of shocked me because I was like, no one is really talking about it. They're all just doing we're just going to wait and see before we do it. And then I was like, I said I wasn't going to say that, but now I'm going to bring it up on the air and talk about it with T-Roy because it's a conversation that people are having at happy hour. That's it, and that's kind of the show. But I'm not going to point fingers and say who's right, who's wrong, or who did it, or I know this for a fact. But it's still a conversation that should be happening instead of like, we know it's out there. We read the reports too on the ESPN bottom ticker, but we're going to let it just weigh itself out. That doesn't. That never would have happened 5 years ago. Wouldn't have happened 15 months ago. You would be talking about it. So the only people that would say 15 months ago that would be like knock it off would be the NFL because they want to talk about how their draft is going to be at Las Vegas. Speaking of, the draft's going to be in Cleveland this year, and they are going to have fans there, limited amount of fans and select players that are going to be there. But it's something we're going to monitor and keep our eye on. And gosh, if it really is up 24, that's a big jump from 14 this morning. But we have to take our last break of the hour. When we come back, we got to guess the lines for the Sweet 16. Yeah. And then we got to look a little bit about. We got to look at Mock Draft Monday on a Tuesday because we weren't here on Monday at all. So we'll be right back here at ESPN 1170 AM. Don't hassle us, we're local.
All right, I've been talking to you about our friends at Tri-City Equipment for a long time. They've been rocking and rolling in the Quad City since 1934. And Jaybird, this week, hopefully, we're going to get delivery of the brand new patio furniture for the Party-O.
Yeah, got to break that in before the big birthday party at Pines.
Coming up. And you know what the good thing is about Tri-City Equipment is even if your phone runs out of power, they don't get mad at you.
Yeah, they just wait till you call back.
They just wait till you call back.
That's
they're like,
so
sorry,
nice of
Troy.
Kurt and those guys down there. Kevin answers the phone. It's good to hear from you, Kurt's like, what happened?
Yeah, what's going on, Troy? You didn't want to talk to me. But that's great. That is Tri-City Equipment. They're 527 West 4th Street in Davenport. They have a great showroom to check out, so please give them a call today, 563-322-5382. Tri-City Equipment, 527 West 4th Street in Davenport.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Brian Rothenberger, radio guy for the Quad City Storm. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, we're local.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business owners to sign up with Town Square and receive $500 in free advertising on this radio station. Start growing your business today. Visit GetLocalCustomersNow.com. That's GetLocalCustomersNow.com.
This is Greeny with Mike Greenberg.
Jerry really screwed this up. He screwed this up. Impulsive billionaires with a penchant for star power. Zeke Elliott and Cabo was the undoing. 2 years ago, Zeke Elliott held out. He withheld his services. And you know how that worked out? He now has a contract that is an albatross And it is one of the reasons that they were not able to get this deal with Dak Prescott done until a time when Dak had more leverage than any player has ever had in NFL history. And Jerry got that completely wrong because he becomes enamored with star power. And so that's the way it goes. Now, look, do the Cowboys lose their ability to compete because of this? No, of course not. They got the number down this year. Jerry thinks they're a championship team. He may be the only one who thinks that, but he does.
Greeny, 9 till 11 on ESPN 1170.
Get your maximum refund and your taxes prepared for half the price with AmeriFile.
I'm Christy, a single mom from Bettendorf. I got tired of paying $250 at H&R Block, so I went to AmeriFile. As advertised, they did my taxes for far less than half the price.
AmeriFile Tax Centers has the best tax prep deal in town. Taxes prepared for half the price of the other guys. And you get free Rudy's Tacos, free Whitey's, free Chick-fil-A, or fresh blend smoothies. Go to AmeriFile.com or call AmeriFile to schedule your tax appointment today and save.
We always use drive-through windows for fast food and banking. Now the Quad Cities has drive-through taxes with AmeriFile. Don't let COVID delay your tax refund this year. For the safest way to get your taxes done, use AmeriFile's drive-through tax service in Moline and Davenport. Stay safe in your car, drop your tax stuff off, and your taxes are prepared contact-free. Go to AmeriFile.com or call AmeriFile 762-8087.
Mike Greenberg is Greeny.
If you don't want great stars in Portland, you don't want Ja Morant in Memphis, you don't want Zion Williamson in New Orleans, and you don't want the Greek Freak in Milwaukee, then why do we have teams there if we don't want them to be good? If you have fan bases that are conditioned to believe they're not supposed to contend, how does that work? How can that possibly be right?
Greeny, 9 till 11 on ESPN 1170.
Oh, man, here we go again. Up early, feed the dog, out the door, traffic, at the office, boss in some kind of mood today, no time for lunch, annoying coworker, no time to relax, bedtime. Then we gotta do it all again? No way. Because the best way to break up the mundane every day is to play at Wild Rose Casino and Resort. Slots, tables, sports, and a whole lot of perks when you join and play with your Club Wild card. So, let's play. Wild Rose Casino and Resort, Clinton.
Today, Angola Jr.
Our friend Aaron Schatz was quick to point this out on Twitter. The moves you did make, Philadelphia, netted you a Super Bowl. Like, full stop. What you did before, and Carson Wentz as a part of that process, netted you a Super Bowl. And so it's hard to look at this as a total failure at all, because there's a lot of teams that are going to go a good long time without winning anything close to that.
Janae Angola Jr., 306 on the Quad City Sports Leader, ESPN 1170.
And now an old classic commercial from Mark Brenny.
This is Skip Tracer from the outdoor reality show Joe Bazillionaire. Joe, is it true that you inherited the state of Montana and have thousands of acres to play on, and you're here to find an ATV to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, that's why I'm here.
Here come the contestants now.
Ooh, the competition is stiff. The power, the flexibility, the low monthly payments, the winches, the plows, the camo covers.
Look at that Suzuki ATV from Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic.
So powerful, so sleek, so... It's going to be a tough call, but I'm leaning towards the Suzuki with 3 headlights, automatic transmission, and push-button 4-wheel drive.
They all have pretty bodies and fancy switches.
But the real test will be on the individual dates, alone with each machine in the back country. It's anyone's guess what sort of bump and grind I'll experience.
Well, looks like Joe is one happy camper. Get happy yourself in your own Suzuki ATV from Brenny's Motorcycle Clinic across from Alcoa. Almost.
Suzuki ATVs are recommended only for those 16 years and older. Suzuki recommends an approved training course. See your dealer for details.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Don't Hassle Us Local, live here on AM 1170 and Facebook.
Yeah, so just at the top of the hour here on Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021, happy spring.
Oh, yeah, first day of spring.
It's spring now. Yeah,
It felt nice today.
Not bad.
You know what I hear?
What's that?
Going to be a bad season for allergies, Jay.
What does that mean?
Well, the way, you know, how when it had that first rain that froze really hard.
Yeah.
And that allowed it so that the ground didn't freeze down that hard. That layer of ice didn't allow the water to seep in and then freeze the ground, which then didn't like take care of like pollens and all that stuff and all that. So there's a lot of it.
Where'd you hear that from?
The doctor, dude.
Oh, he said, "Hey, take it. Be ready for."
Well, it's gonna be.
You don't know what's gonna come.
You have no idea what's coming, Bert.
Yeah, you're like a walking farmer's almanac for this,
that's what
this
I
show.
do.
I tell you what.
No, just help. I informed the people, Bert.
Yep, I love it.
That's why you jumped into the crowd chamber.
Yeah, that's right. You got to let
For the
people know what's happening.
yeah.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
So we're guessing lines?
Yeah, we're gonna bring back Guess the Lines.
This is so fun.
We're gonna do the Sweet 16 basketball lines. Let's see how well we know college basketball after our first and second round of watching college basketball a weekend. How well do we think our friends at Elite Sportsbook are gonna set the lines the way that we think they should be? And we're gonna see who's closer here. So we've got obviously 8 games, and I've written down my lines that I've got, and I've already looked at them, and I'm gonna give you a fair warning.
What?
I'm very good. I'm very close.
You are. You know you are.
I feel, yeah.
How do you know?
I looked at them during commercial break.
So you wrote them down and then you looked them up?
No. I wrote mine down, my guesses.
Yeah.
All right? I already wrote my guesses a long time ago. Now I pulled up the site so I wouldn't sit there and be on air and be like, oh, whatever. And I just wanted to take a look and see if I was going to be frustrated before we started or if I was going to feel really good about what's going on. So basically, for those who are new, Guess the Lines is where we don't look at the lines. We look at the games, and then we guess what we think the line should be, and then whoever gets closer compared to what the lines really are from our friends at Elite Sportsbook down at Rhythm City, that's who wins it. We do this every week for the NFL. We do it for the playoffs and everything. We did not do it at all for the first-round games because we're silly like that, and we should have. But now we're doing the Sweet 16 games, so this should be a lot of fun. First things first, we got the Saturday game. We've got Loyola Chicago, the 8 seed, versus Oregon State, the 12 seed. What do you have?
I have Loyola.
Uh-huh.
-4.
You have Loyola -4.
Uh-huh.
Okay. I have Loyola -5.5.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you something. First things first. You can't change anything. I put a hook on everything because they don't usually like pushes here when it comes to basketball.
Oh, they put a hook on everything?
No, I put a hook on everything.
Oh.
I did. I'm just telling you that. So the hook is actually on this one.
Okay.
This is, I gave it -5.5, Loyola.
Okay.
It is Loyola -6.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you took it.
Yep, that's how the game works.
Okay. Well,
you had 4.
And
Yep.
So let me ask you a question.
Sure.
I can't change anything now? What if I don't have hooks on these things?
There's not hooks on every single game by as far as Elite Sportsbook goes, okay?
All right, good.
Yeah.
Because I didn't put hook on every one of them.
Yeah. Okay. The next game, Villanova versus the number 1 the 5 seed Villanova versus the number 1 seed Baylor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You go first.
I have Baylor at -8.5, and I don't remember what Elite Sportsbook has. I'm not looking at it. I have Baylor at -8.5, and I don't know why I didn't go higher because Villanova, I guess they're over their little, well, they got the 2 guys hurt, but they've been playing well. So anyway, Baylor looks good. I got Baylor at -8.5.
I did Baylor -6.5.
Baylor -6.5 is what you have. You get a gold star. It is Baylor -6.5. Look at that.
Look at me.
You nailed it right on the head.
Woo!
Well, look at you. I come out bragging off a commercial break saying like how I did really well.
Talking about hooks, trying to get me all worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We have Oral Roberts, the 12th seed, against the number 3 seed Arkansas. Yeah. Oral Roberts, the 12th seed, versus the number 3 seed Arkansas. Your turn to go first.
Arkansas, Jay?
Yeah.
-9.5.
I have Arkansas -13.5.
Oof.
Mm-hmm. It was pretty high. You have 9.5?
Yeah.
I have 13.5.
Yeah.
We're going to split it.
What is it?
It's 11.5.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah, look at us. Pretty close. All right. Houston, the 2 seed, is going up against the 11th seeded Zone Syracuse.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy Boeheim shot themselves into the Sweet 16. His dad is the coach. Whew. I've got Houston as a very heavy -10.5.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
See, I think you're underestimating that zone like you tried to tell yourself not to do.
Yeah?
I got Houston -4.5.
You're going to get this. It's Houston -6.5.
All right.
Yeah, so there, look at you. Yeah, I know.
Ooh, that's a bingo.
that's a bingo. All right. Okay. Now we're going into the Sunday games.
Mm-hmm.
Creighton, the 5 seed.
Yeah.
Versus the number 1 seed Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I'm shocked that Creighton is here, by the way. They had a 1-point victory versus UCSB. They did fine against Ohio. I thought for sure their players hated their coach, and apparently they don't as much as I did. Thought they did. So I'm surprised Creighton's here. I had Ohio here anyway, but I've got Gonzaga at a very high -12.5.
Well, we're in the same boat.
Mm-hmm.
-12.
Ooh. I'm going to get this.
Why? 13?
Yeah, it's 13.
Wow.
Oh, that's a really fun one. I like it when we're really close, though. Makes me feel like we kind of know what we're doing.
It's very odd.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, what? I started the show saying I don't know much about basketball, and look at this.
Well, you don't. Neither do I. We're tied.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think you know more about basketball than I do.
Oh,
Okay, anyway.
right.
Florida State, the 4 seed.
You know more about betting than I do.
Number 1, Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
You go.
Michigan,
Mm-hmm.
-6.
I have Michigan -3.5. And it is Michigan -3. Oh, boy.
Look at him just taking the lead.
See, the Michigan thing, they got their guy hurt. The Big Ten does not look good. I couldn't give them enough. I actually have Florida State winning this game in my bracket against Michigan. All right, the only time I have the right Sweet 16 matchup is this one. All right,
I have that too.
UCLA.
Yeah.
The 11 seed, a play-in survivor against number 2 Alabama.
Yep.
My turn to go first?
Sure.
Sure. I've got Alabama at -9.5.
Really?
I do, and I don't feel good about it. But Alabama's shooting lights out. UCLA, I think you're just playing with house money. I think the run's over.
I don't. I got Alabama -3.
You're definitely getting this one because you're, it's -5.5. Alabama's -5.5. You like UCLA. You had UCLA losing to Michigan State in your thing.
Yeah, but, they changed my mind.
There you go.
You update your info.
Yeah, you do. That's right.
If you're wrong before, you don't just stay wrong. You try to update your info.
There you go. That's actually a good way of
Wow,
doing it.
Jay, this thing is tied up.
This is tied up going
With one
into
to play.
Oregon and USC. Pac-12 foes.
Oh, I know.
And you have to go first because I'm telling you right now I'm on the wrong side of this one.
You are?
I am on the wrong side.
I got Oregon -2.
Darn it all!
What'd you have?
I had Oregon -2.5.
And it's USC, so I win it by
USC
default?
-2. USC -2.5, yeah.
I get it.
We both like Oregon, I think probably are biased because of
beat Iowa.
They beat Iowa. I don't know. From what little I know about USC, I think they have a kid who could be a lottery pick, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it, but I know I've listened to plenty of gambling shows talking about each one of them, but what Oregon did was just amazing. You don't really think it's that extra rest because VCU. I just think they had the right game plan, and it was we're going to come blazing on these guys.
Well, and then the
Oregon,
times
Iowa.
when they wanted it, they gave Luka some fits, too.
Mhm.
They had a lot of jumpers that were, granted, didn't give him very many fits. He had 33 points or whatever it was, but there was times, Luka could have had 40 or more.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, he was, what did I say, 32, 36 or whatever else, and he was 9 rebounds, and yeah, he was really, really good. So, like I said, I just think maybe on that situation, Oregon, but tomorrow we'll fill out our bracket for the Sweet 16 from here on out. We'll redo our brackets and get after it.
Love it.
Yep. No, that was good job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
It's fun.
It was. All right, so the NFL draft is coming up. We've got. I've got to check in with our friend Emily, make sure she can still make it in about 2 weeks. But the draft is going to happen in Cleveland, and they're going to bring some fans back. The NFL announced this yesterday. It will take place on from April 29th to May 1st in Cleveland. It will be a select number of prospects, fans, and media in attendance. Clubs will designate a number of draft ambassadors. Basically, those are fans who get front row seats. They must be vaccinated and wear masks. There will be additional prospects who will participate in draft festivities remotely from their homes and country. There will be a draft room. So the NFL went on to say club personnel involved in the selection process will be permitted to gather in a draft room at a location of their choosing, whether that be their facility or elsewhere, while following appropriate protocols. NFL Executive Vice President Peter O'Reilly said, "We are thrilled to be headed to Cleveland for the NFL Draft, which has become one of the most highly anticipated events in sports. Just months after executing a safe and successful Super Bowl 55, we look forward to bringing the excitement of our draft traditions to fans in collaboration with the Browns, Destination Cleveland, Greater Cleveland Sports Commission, the City of Cleveland, and all of our Cleveland partners." They're going to NFL is going to build upon the 2020 Draftathon, using the 2021 draft as a platform to provide relief to communities most affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. And the NFL will also use this year's draft to promote COVID-19 vaccine. So, the draft is right around the corner. Did you make any changes? It's Mock Draft Monday on a...
Yes, I have to make some changes. So there was some huge news yesterday from, I think Schefter was the first one to report it.
Okay.
Depending on who you have ranking him, he was either the first or second ranked cornerback in the draft out of Virginia, Caleb Farley. Farley is going in to have a discectomy,
okay,
which is pieces of his disc in his back removed.
Ooh.
Shaved off. He had some problems.
And how is the recovery supposed to be?
Well, it basically is going to take him out of the first round.
Oh, no.
So, so I'm going to have to make some serious changes in that draft. Him falling out is going to be huge. We can go over some of these teams if you want to just kind of go down the line here, Jay.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I got to turn this off. Yep.
So we can just start with one, and we'll work our way down. Okay.
Okay.
You don't want me? Did you want me to reveal any draft picks?
How about I just I'll just give you Mel Kiper's. He's updated today.
All right, you give me Kiper, and we'll go with this.
The number one is Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Jacksonville, yeah. Trevor Lawrence. Jacksonville's been active in free agency. Notables they've picked up: running back Carlos Hyde, wide receiver Marvin Jones, and probably the biggest one, Shaq Griffin from Seattle.
Absolutely.
So yeah, but I don't see any change at one for me either.
Okay.
Who's Kiper got at 2 with the Jets?
He's got Zach Wilson.
Okay, he's got them taking a quarterback. They've made some noise in free agency. Corey Davis, Keelan Cole for wide receivers, and a few other things happened. Those are the most notable.
Defensively, linebacker Jared Davis, safety LaMarcus Joyner, and defense tackle Sheldon Rankins.
Right.
Yeah.
And I just jotted a few down, so if you can give me more, that's
sure.
Great. Perfect. That being said, I'm hesitant to see if they take a quarterback. How about that?
Yeah.
That gives you a hint where my head is at. I have them down for needs at wide receiver, which you can say has been addressed, at corner, edge rusher, quarterback, or running back. So, moving on to Miami.
This is where it gets weird. Kiper has now put a trade in here.
Okay.
And in this trade, Carolina trades up 5 spots to with the Dolphins, and the Dolphins move down to the 8, and also acquire what could be either a 2022 first or second rounder plus more considerations. That's what he has.
Okay.
So he says via the mock trade, he has the Carolina Panthers taking Justin Fields.
Okay.
Now you can stick with yours or whatever else. That's
all right.
fine,
I do have Carolina taking a quarterback at 8.
Mhm.
But, all right, I don't see them trading up for that, but that's fine. I think there is going to be a trade up.
Mhm.
But I don't think necessarily that's who they take. I have Miami down. Now, Miami, let's go to both teams. Now, Carolina.
Sure.
Carolina has not been that active really on free agency. I didn't see too many things on there
Nothing
that were
too
noteworthy.
big. Yeah, I mean, here's some of them. Offensive tackle Cameron Irving, center Pat Elflein, linebacker Hasten Reddick, tight end Dan Arnold, and linebacker Denzel Perryman. Again, nothing too where
No,
you
on the other side of it, Miami has been active.
Mhm.
They had a trade in which they acquired McKinney, a linebacker from Houston, for Shaq Lawson. They signed Isaiah Wilson, offensive tackle, and they signed Will Fuller to a 1-year deal.
and backup quarterback Jacoby Brissett. So they've got their quarterback. They don't need to mess with anything. So
I think they can go a lot of ways here, and I think this is going to depend. Their pick at 3, if they do make it, is going to really depend on what the Jets do at 2. I think
yeah,
there's a lot of talk here between Jamar Chase or Devonta Smith, if they're available, or do they want to focus even more on that O-line and getting help protecting that young star and Tua Tagovailoa? So
4 Atlanta Falcons. Whew. Trey Lance is what he has. North Dakota State quarterback.
Okay.
Mhm.
The Falcons have also been kind of quiet so far in free agency.
Their salary cap is just completely kicking.
They
them in the
lost
giblets.
Ken O'Neal to the Cowboys via free agency. He's a hybrid safety linebacker, weak side linebacker, so great sign for Dallas on that. Reunites him with Dan Quinn. Atlanta, Jay, this is one, and you know I don't like to do trades in my mock draft. If there is a trade, I believe it happens here. Atlanta needs to get something for nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think this is where you see your Chicago Bears possibly moving up so that they can take a quarterback.
And I do not disagree with this. It's just if the Bears have the chips for this, and Mel Kiper does say in his little thing, but it does, even though he has them taking Trey Lance, his final thing, it says they are prime trade down. They are prime candidates for a trade down, particularly to try to get better value for a defender or whatever else, and acquire more picks, just like you said. Something for nothing.
I have them taking a quarterback as well, but not Trey Lance. So that's how about that?
Mhm.
If they stay at the pick.
At number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Burrows.
Yes.
They have been kind of busy in free agency. We've talked about them needing to get protection for that man.
Yeah, they did.
Did you love? And they went out and got Riley Reef.
Uh-huh.
And they signed a quarterback from the Dallas Cowboys, very talented, Chidobe Uzie.
Yep, and another
they also
cornerback.
signed Mike Hilton.
That's right, and also defensive end Trey Hendrickson and defensive tackle Larry Ugonjabi.
Needs for the Bengals, obviously, offensive tackle and wide receiver are at the top. This could be interesting. If they're set and they think Riley Reif is the answer, maybe they don't go offensive tackle here, and maybe they take one of those young wideouts. So, if he's still available, depending on who's available, maybe Burrow gets reacquainted with his buddy Jamar Chase. Or Devontae Smith. Would be interesting, Jay.
Very good call. He is mentioned by Mel Kiper, but he has Kyle Pitts, tight end of Florida, going there. He goes on to say Pitts is one of the most talented tight ends he's ever graded. And there are people in the NFL who think he could be the second best prospect in this class.
You know, he says a lot of stuff, too.
That's what I was thinking,
This is
too,
the guy
like-
that thought Mitch Trubisky was better than...
I know. That's where I was
Okay.
going with this, because when you were looking at, you went back and
I'm
looked at
not
the draft.
saying that Kyle Pitts is bad. Yeah. I'm just saying Kyle Pitts is very talented. If you're looking at this in the right way, is Kyle Pitts better than Jamar Chase? Or Devonta Smith? I don't know.
I think they need Jamar Chase. They don't have AJ. Not that AJ Green is anything anymore, but yeah, that was him.
He's gone.
Yeah.
They need weapons for this guy. So
The Philadelphia Eagles.
the Eagles, Jay. Well, they haven't been very active at all in free agency as well. Big needs for them: linebacker, cornerback, wide receiver as well. One of those things, if a big receiver is available, I think they take one of them. You got to think that any of the two I've mentioned, plus Jalen Waddle, would be available around here possibly. Or Kyle Pitts. They do love tight ends, and I want to say they're losing Zach Ertz.
Yeah, he's got Jamar Chase here, and Philadelphia is quickly becoming the bottom of the barrel, the NFC East, like very, very fast. At least the Giants, are trying. At least
I have them taking a wide receiver as well, Jay.
All
I'm
right.
not going to tell you who.
Not yet, no. The Detroit Lions.
Man. They really they made the big trade. They got Goff. I can't see a whole lot else that I think was notable from what they've done.
No, here's some of the names that they have. Wide receiver Tyrell Williams, wide receiver Brashard Perriman, running back Jamal Williams, defensive end Michael Brockers, and quarterback Tim Boyle. All right.
Right.
Yeah.
So not noteworthy. They are in need of a wide receiver. Obviously, they lost Kenny Galladay. He signed with the Giants.
Yeah.
They need a cornerback. They need defensive line, offensive line. They need linebackers.
They need it all. So
they need a lot of stuff here. I have them taking a wide receiver in this spot. I think there's three very talented ones at the top. If this, if it works out for them on that, if not, who knows? You could see them possibly taking a cornerback.
Yeah, he's got Devontae Smith on his list here.
Okay.
To take that.
I have them taking a wide receiver as well, Jay.
Miami, this would be the Miami Dolphins, the trade that I spoke of earlier.
And this would be Carolina, and I have Carolina taking a quarterback.
And they have the Dolphins taking Jalen Waddle.
Okay.
That's where he ate. And so, all right. Then the next one at the number 9.
The Denver Broncos.
He's got a trade.
Okay.
The Vikings jump up 5 spots to trade with the Denver Broncos. And he says, let's see here. Minnesota leads the NFL in total picks in this class, although it doesn't have a second rounder as a result. Most likely would cost at least Minnesota's second rounder in 2022 also. So they're flipping spots in the second rounder in 2022, and likely more. So Minnesota Vikings are on the clock here at 9, according to Mel Kiper, and they are taking Penei Sewell.
Okay. I think Sewell's off the board already here. The Vikings notably picked up Patrick Peterson.
Yep.
Probably a little bit past his prime, but still very effective corner. I had the Broncos here. One of their top needs is linebacker or cornerback. This will be very interesting. I think they're taking a linebacker here because I haven't heard Kuiper name this guy yet, and I think he's the best linebacker on the draft, and I think that's who they take.
And who would the linebacker be?
I would say Micah Parsons.
That's who they have the Broncos taking at 14. So the spot that you're looking at where you have him at, that's where they have the Vikings. So you're dead on at the spot where they have. He just has him going to the Broncos there.
Okay.
So cover that up. 10, your Dallas Cowboys are on the clock.
The Cowboys are on the clock. I've mentioned the thing about Caleb Farley. Farley. Yeah. I don't know what's going to happen. This is going to shake some things up. I hope Dallas gets who I have them taking. Needs that I had down for the Cowboys, safety. We've already addressed that a little bit. They have 2 guys coming in for interviews this week at the safety spot. So there's a possibility the Cowboys sign 3 safeties.
Yeah, they already signed Keanu Neal.
Keanu Neal, and the other one, Malik Hooker, and the other one was from Atlanta as well. They need defensive line help. They've been addressing a little bit of that. They Urban from the Bears and Watkins, and then they got Terrell Basham, linebacker.
That is right.
They signed a backup offensive tackle, Nishiki, I believe is how you pronounce his
name.
name.
Nishiki.
But yeah, so defensive line, offensive tackle, edge rush, cornerback. I think they're taking a cornerback here.
Who's that?
Cowboys.
Yeah, and Mel Kiper believes they're taking a cornerback as well from the University of Alabama, Patrick Surtain II. The New York Giants.
The New York Giants, man, have they been active. Jay.
They have. Let's see. I'll just run down for you.
Kenny
Galladay.
John Ross.
Signed a pretty decent deal for himself.
Dory Jackson, huge
cornerback of Dory Jackson. Tight end Kyle Rudolph.
Yep.
Running back Devontae Booker. And Mike Glennon is there going to be their backup.
Yep.
Not a lot of losses.
Needs for them. Obviously, they addressed the cornerback need with Dory Jackson. They also need linebacker help, defensive end help, and wide receiver help, which obviously they addressed the wide receiver.
Yeah, did they, though? I mean, I know they got John Ross, and they have Kenny Galladay, and they also have Sterling Shepard, but do they have a legit number one?
I think they do.
Okay. All right.
I think they do. I think they feel they do. That being said, I think here they go with some sort of edge rusher or defensive end.
Mel Kiper has the New York Giants taking Kwity Paye, defensive end, edge rusher from Michigan. Yep, at number 11.
All right.
At 12, San Francisco 49ers. Uh-huh.
Well, I will let another one out. I had the 49ers taking a cornerback.
Cornerback or quarterback?
Corner, as in a defensive corner. Obviously, they lost Richard Sherman, and he'll be gone. I had them taking Caleb Farley here. I don't think that's happening now, so I haven't had time to adjust.
Fair.
49ers haven't been overly active, but not doing nothing. They did sign Trent Williams, which was huge, on that offensive line, bringing him back after the one-year deal. I still think they take a corner here, Jay. Notable corners left in this draft that are still very, very good. J.C. Horn out of South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Campbell and Stokes, both out of Georgia.
Very good. Mel Kiper does say that he confirms what you said, that Schefter tweeted out Farley's having surgery on his back today. But he says, this is Kiper, he says, as of now, I don't think the injury will affect his draft stock. He has Caleb Farley still going at 12 to the 49ers. Chargers at 13.
Chargers at 13, man. The Chargers. Where did I have them written down at, Bird? Bear with me.
Mm-hmm.
They been kind of busy in free agency. Notably, Jared Cook at tight end. I know they signed some other guys, kind of not huge names. I think they take a tackle here.
Okay.
Their needs: offensive tackle, offensive line, a cornerback, possible needs, tight end and running back, which they've addressed tight end. I think they take a tackle.
Okay. The Matt Feeler signing doesn't do anything for you in their offseason free agency?
How many years was he? I can't
remember.
Don't know.
Yeah, they got a center and then offensive tackle. Still on the offensive line, they're paddling in the same boat, and that is Rashawn Slater. Mel Kiper's got him. Rashawn Slater, offensive lineman from Northwestern.
Yeah, he can play tackle or interior.
Gotcha.
So,
We already did the Broncos. Now we've got the New England Patriots at 15.
Yeah, and I had Minnesota there at 14.
Yeah,
and
you had both at Micah Parsons.
Well, no, I had Denver taking Micah Parsons.
Oh, but yeah, okay, sorry.
But,
so at 14,
and you had when they had Minnesota, you said Minnesota was taken. Who did he have Minnesota taken?
That was Sewell, Penei Sewell.
Okay,
yeah,
they do need O-line help and D-line help. I haven't taken defensive line.
Okay, the New England Patriots at 15.
New England Patriots, man, I would say probably one of the busiest teams out there. Like it or hate it, Cam Newton's coming back. Nelson Aguilar, Jason Bourne's brother Kevin. Two tight ends I think are going to be huge for them. Trent Brown on the offensive tackle. Linebackers Matt Judah and Kyle Vanoy. They've been busy. That addressed a lot of their needs. A lot of other signings they had. I mean, I don't want to sugarcoat any of it.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, for some reason here, I think New England's drafting a quarterback.
Mel Kiper agrees. He says this is where Mac Jones from Alabama is going to go. He does go on to say that he's got in trouble before by saying that a few quarterbacks are Tom Brady-like, but he really likes him. He says he's accurate and he's a tall pocket passer, and that's what he likes about that. So he also, if you go to ESPN.com, you can go read his pre-draft scouting report on Brady here. All right, we are going to have to take a break at the 15. I think we're going to take a break at the 15 because there's a couple other things. We need to come back to what fads, trends would you bring back. I got a question for you. Since we're doing football, I have a question for you for the break and those out there listening on the Harrington's Pub comment thread. This is going to be a tough one. I mean, you've got to be like a diehard football fan.
Right.
All right? Like, you got to love all football the way, like, more than I love the XFL.
All right.
March 23rd, 1991.
Okay.
30 years ago today, the first Transatlantic Sports League began its inaugural season. And the NFL launched the World League of American Football.
Yeah, I was going to say NFL Europe or whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Starts the World League again, later named. In 1989, the NFL voted to launch the World League of American Football, thought up by then Commissioner Paul Tagliabue as a developmental spring league. Owners paid $50,000 each for the league startup costs, and players were mostly top prospects who couldn't quite break into the NFL. Some notable alumni include 3 Super Bowl quarterbacks. Now, I didn't say winners, but I said Super Bowl quarterbacks.
Okay. Can I get a guess?
No, I'm not done. I'm telling you who they are. Kurt Warner, Jake Delhomme, and Brad Johnson. 2 of the best special team players ever, Dante Hall and Adam Vinatieri. And 5-time Pro Bowler James Harrison.
Wow.
10 teams were broken into 3 divisions, and they played a 10-game regular season. The 3 division winners and a wild card made the playoffs, consisting of semifinal round and the annual World Bowl. The divisions were European, North American East, North American West. What I'm asking you is, how many of the 10 teams can you name?
0.
How many cities can you name?
I don't know. Maybe a couple. They were in Europe?
There was a European League, right, and that had 3 teams. There was a North American East.
Well, London had a team.
Hold on, I'm not done. There was 4 teams in North American East, and then there was 3 teams in the North American West, giving you a total of 10 teams in the World League of American Football inaugural season. So when we come back, I'll give you those as well, and I don't have them in front of me, but I'm going to read our promo when we come back from our friends from our friend Tim Hernandez, our guy on the show. And but I don't have it in front of me right now, and that's on me. But I will be right back from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local here on ESPN 1170 AM.
The Rock says he's gonna make your Rudy Poo candy ass famous. You like that? You like that? Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Ella Schmidt, the 106-pounder for Bettendorf, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
We just expanded our lot at Weber Auto Group. What's that mean for you? Now's the time to buy. Bigger selection, better deal, lower prices. Plus the Weber warranty. And every car we sell gets our 52-point inspection. So call us, visit our website, or better yet, come see us in our new showroom in Silvis. Weber Auto Group, your 5-star dealer.
Buy flowers and grow potential in kids. Right now, you can support Big Brothers Big Sisters in the Quad Cities by placing any size order by April 19th. A wide variety of flats, hanging baskets, and potted plants. Plus, if you spend $50 or more, you can have your order delivered to your home for free. Or you can pick it up at our drive-thru. Pickup and delivery is May 5th and 6th. Place your order today at plantsale.org. That's plantsale.org. Support kids in our community with Big Brothers Big Sisters.
We always use drive-thru windows for fast food and banking. Now the Quad Cities has drive-thru taxes with AmeriFile. Don't let COVID delay your tax refund this year. For the safest way to get your taxes done, use AmeriFile's drive-thru tax service in Moline and Davenport. Stay safe in your car. Drop your tax stuff off, and your taxes are prepared contact-free. Go to AmeriFile.com or call AmeriFile 762-8087.
Have you wanted to speak a new language but thought it'd be too difficult or take too much time? Then try Babbel. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel teaches you conversations that you will actually use. With 14 languages and lesson topics like travel, business, relationships, and more, you'll learn what matters most to you. Babbel. Language for life. Learn a new language with ease. Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's BABBEL.com.
It's tournament time, and with so many games going on, who wants to bet just one? That's why I love betting parlays on FanDuel Sportsbook. It's a great way to combine bets from different games for an even bigger win. And guess what? FanDuel is here to help if your parlay doesn't go as planned. They'll give you up to $25 back insight credit if your parlay of 3 legs or more falls 1 leg short. That's 1 parlay per day, each day of the tournament, for new and existing users. Bet on the NCAA Championship outright winner, or bet Final Four predictions. That's why FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook app. They're always hooking us up. The app is so easy to use, many bet options to choose from, and always exclusive, always on promotions. And when you win, you'll get paid in as little as 24 hours. If you've been thinking about signing up, now is the perfect time to give it a shot. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code Trevor so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code Trevor. 21 plus and present in Iowa. Refund issued as a non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $25. Terms apply. See sportsbook.fanduel.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
I'm Steve Weisman with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. It's another giant free agent signing in New York as former Titans corner Adoree Jackson is joining the Giants on a 3-year deal worth $39 million. This according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. Injuries limited the former first-round pick to just 14 games the past 2 seasons. Meantime, NFL Network's Mike Silver reports the Packers are trying to clear cap space to become more active in free agency by restructuring the contract of Aaron Rodgers. Silver adds that the terms changed in the deal could give an idea of Green Bay's long-term commitment to the quarterback. In other news, the Niners re-signed starting safety Jaquiski Tartt to a 1-year deal, while the Raiders gave new starting center Andre James a 3-year, $12 million extension. And the Colts are signing former Chargers starting left tackle Sam Tevy as a potential blindside protector for Carson Wentz. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
What's in store right now at your local Staples?
Your one-stop shop for shipping solutions.
Staples has everything your business needs to ship, like packing materials, mailers, and UPS shipping services.
And now, get 20% off UPS Express shipping services at Staples. Plus, buy 2, get 1 free on decorative shipping supplies.
Staples can even help you customize your shipping materials to create a memorable unboxing experience for customers.
Staples, your total shipping solution.
In-store only. Ends 4/3/21. Exclusions apply while supplies last.
The push to the 2021 NFL Draft is on, and it all starts with Pro Days. The top prospects from the top schools put to a final test. Get a glimpse of the next generation of NFL stars.
Devontae Smith, Kyle Pitts, Zach Wilson, score!
Everyone's watching, and NFL Network is here for it. Who will become a star on Pro Day and move up on Draft Day?
That's a touchdown for Justin Fields.
Pro Days, over 90 schools, all month long on NFL Network.
From the Vegas Gaming Cafe, this is the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 1170 AM, KBLB Davenport, a Town Square media station.
Almost 1:40 in the afternoon here in the Hassel Castle. I want to tell you about our man, Tim Hernandez. Been in the area for a long time, but's been involved in real estate markets since 2007, specializing in residential home buying and selling. Not only that, he can help investors locate investment properties, assisting with property management and rehabs on flips. You could use that to investment on properties. Couldn't you, T-Ray? There's a little spot that I know you got your eye on. Maybe, you know.
What do you mean?
You're always wheeling and dealing. Well,
I just want to get the hell out of here. I just don't want to be here in the winter anymore, Jay. Yeah. That's all.
Well, if you do have any properties you have your eye on that you might want to do investment in, call Tim Hernandez at 563-508-7221. Looking to buy or sell a home, he is licensed in both Iowa and Illinois. If you currently own a second home in the area that you use as a rental, he also works with property management and does a great job on that. And he also helps assisting on rehabs on flips. Tim's been in the area for 25 years, but like I said, been involved in real estate market since 2007. If the name sounds familiar to you for you longtime hasslers, it is because also Tim does ID Life, and he's been a supporter of the show for a while now. Tim Hernandez is brokered by eXp Realty, and like I said, licensed in both Iowa and Illinois. Give Tim a call for all your real estate needs at 563-508-7221. T-Roy, I asked you a cold question when we opened. If you could bring back one trend, one fad, what would it be?
All right, so I was noticing the basketball teams now.
Okay.
The shorts are all of a sudden getting tighter.
Yeah, they are. I noticed that.
I don't like that.
You like it?
No.
You don't? You don't like the John Stockton?
No,
Like
no.
the
I
baggy?
like the kind of semi-baggy shorts from the 90s.
Okay.
You know, they don't have to be below your knee baggy or whatever else, but I just want them like just right above the knee. Nice baggy shorts. Nothing. I don't need nut huggers or anything like that.
So you don't like that the trend is coming, vice versa?
Yeah, I don't like the tightness coming back. I want to stay with the loose fitting shorts.
So you want the early '90s baggy stuff coming back. You want that
just
fashion
that.
trend to come
And
back.
along with that, you know, this whole thing where like now you got basically they took the arm of a sweatshirt and made it into the leg of a sweatpant. You know what I'm saying? How you got the thick elastic band at the bottom of the sweatpants, whatever they call these, joggers.
Yeah.
Now they're calling them joggers.
Yeah, okay.
They used to be called sweatpants.
Yeah,
Now
I
they're
know.
called joggers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like joggers.
I don't like
they
them
don't
either.
work with my body. I don't know why.
I don't like them either.
They feel uncomfortable.
Okay.
You know?
You want regular sweatpants?
I want like, you remember like the old style breakaway sweats like basketball players
Oh
used to
yeah,
have?
just when they call your
But,
name
like,
down the bench.
They're just straight legged all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Just rip
nice
them
and
off.
loose, and if they can rip off, or maybe they zip up a little bit at the bottom, you know, like that. That's what I want. Loose fitting sweats with no
I like
tight
your
ankles.
fashion trend.
I don't like these tight ankle things.
Speaking of those shorts, Loyola Chicago, I think it's a point guard, could be shooting guard. I think it's point guard. Somebody tell me. He's got his pants actually rolled up once to get him a little bit tighter, up a little bit higher, right?
Yeah.
But I did notice he had something like around his waist, which I would assume it's for diabetes, right?
Okay.
And I was pointing out to friends watching the game, Illinois. I'm like, "That you guys think that's for diabetes? I think it's for diabetes." And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "Do you think when his sugar level spikes up, does he turn into a racist too, or is it like reversed? Does he just turn around, and call everyone honky cracker on the court, and then like?" And they're like, no. I was like, I wonder if that happens to him. But
just that one guy.
Yeah.
Must be just that one
if
guy.
I could bring back one trend or fad, what would it be? Well, I think it probably would be. I think it would be an arcade. I really do. And I'm not talking like the dollar ones or whatever else, because they have to be, I think it would be 25 cents. And I know we can go down to like places around, bars around here that have the different arcade games, but I just want the mall type of thing, that arcade. That was cool. And the other one that came to mind right away was Saturday morning cartoons.
I like that. And you brought that up during break, and that's great.
Yeah. And then.
Now, my kid wouldn't like that.
Why?
She likes cartoons all the time.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing. This is where these things get eliminated. I also brought up this. Videos on MTV.
Love to bring that back.
But kids can watch it on YouTube. We're just at a generation where we just don't stare at YouTube the entire time.
Yeah.
My kids can stare at YouTube the entire time. Like, my daughter watches videos on YouTube. I'm like, wait, where'd you get this? What channel is this? She's like, it's just YouTube on the TV. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. That sounds fun.
Yeah, Hazel watches these little stories on her.
Yeah. You can watch cartoons on that too.
breaker of it, like a little bit here and there, and then, hey, enough of your stories.
And then I guess the only other thing would be... I guess just meetups in general. I originally it was like landlines, but just to go somewhere and just know that the people are going to be there. And it starts when you're younger, everyone's going to be at the park or a park. And then when you get to high school in your car, a parking lot of some sort. And then when you get older, they're all going to be at your local watering hole where you met all your friends. Now it's a text, who's there, where you at, maybe I'll be there in 10 or whatever. And just meetups in general, kids just getting on their bikes and going down to someone's house and just seeing what they're doing. But again, this isn't like a crazy, like, things were better back in my day. But it was just an interesting question because the things that come to mind, like fashion trends. We all know I've been, if you want to say like, oh, flannels are coming back, I've been wearing them ever since. Tying them around my waist, just like Eddie Vedder. I mean, I was Eddie Van Halen, just like Eddie Vedder. So it's been fun.
Me some flannels, dude.
I want to talk about a few things going on here in the Quad Cities.
Keep doing the draft?
No, we're gonna finish it. We got to 15.
Oh, okay.
We'll get to. Let me get over
I thought
this.
we'd get to 16 at least. That's halfway through.
Then give me 16. We'll do that real quick. I shouldn't. You shouldn't have let me interrupt you then.
Well, I didn't know.
Oh, I shouldn't.
I thought we were coming back. We were just going to break.
We were just going to break. I said that'll do it for now, but that's fine. I appreciate where you're at.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you have for 16?
Arizona Cardinals.
All right.
J.J. Watt, A.J. Green, notable signs by the Cardinals. Needs, offensive line, defensive end, running back, tight end, and cornerback.
Mm-hmm.
Kenyon Drake is now gone, but I think Chase Edmonds might be the guy. Kenyon Drake signed with the Raiders. I think Chase Edmonds has a chance to become a very good starter there.
Okay.
I have them taking a tight end here, Jay.
Okay. They he alludes to that they need a cornerback as a clear need because of Patrick Peterson going to Minnesota.
So let me guess. He has him taking J.C. Horn.
He is taking Mel Kiper has him taking J.C. Horn. That's right. Yep, that is right. Even though he had just 2 interceptions in 3 college seasons, he would be considered a lockdown cornerback. So, I'm going to. Do you want to keep going?
Well, it's up to you. I didn't know if you had something else on thing. We can keep going. I got this already.
No, we can. Don't worry about it, because the 2 things that I want to address, one can be addressed tomorrow. One I'll wrap up the show, so we can keep going. Because that's nothing too crazy or significant. All right, so it's 17.
17 was the Vegas Raiders that we just brought up. Obviously, they signed some decent things. Kenyon Drake, Sean Brown.
Yeah.
Anything else that you had them listed?
Defensive end Yannick Njoku and defensive end Solomon Thomas.
Okay. They need help interior offensive line, defensive line, and linebacker. I have him taking a linebacker here.
He has them taking a linebacker as well. The Las Vegas Raiders, Mel Kiper has it's the 17th pick.
The linebacker out of Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah.
It's a linebacker out of Kentucky.
Okay.
Jamin Davis, or Jammin, whatever else. I hope his name's Jammin, because that would be a great name. I hope it's Jammin Davis, not Jamin. Jamin. I hope it's Jammin.
Okay.
All right, so the Miami Dolphins are at 18.
Miami at 18, we kind of touched on them before. Wide receiver, linebacker, running back, offensive line help, safety. I believe they're taking a running back here, Jay.
Oh, I think I know who you think they're taking here. He does not have him taking a running back, but I like their pick here at that. This would be the running back out of Clemson? Maybe?
No, but...
No, okay. He has them taking a defensive end from the U,
Jalen
Phillips.
Okay, Jalen Phillips and Gregory Rousseau are 2 very talented edge rushers out of Miami.
Then at 19, the Washington football team.
That's right. They obviously are having a very good offseason. Bird, Fitzmagic, Curtis Samuel, re-signing Brandon Scherf. They re-signed, and then they also signed cornerback Willie Jackson III.
Yeah.
Man, they need offensive tackle help. They probably want another wide receiver if they can. They dress quarterback for now, I think. I think they go O-line on this pick.
Mel Kiper, in his mock draft, agrees with you, and he has him taking Christian Darrisaw, the offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, with this pick. Okay. At the 20, the Chicago Bears.
The Bears. If they don't trade up, I still think they get a quarterback at this spot.
You think they get a quarterback at the spot?
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out who would be left there.
They probably need another wideout available. Offensive line help.
Well, Mel Kiper at the 20 spot agrees with you for the offensive line help. It would be Elijah Vera Tucker, offensive tackle guard out of USC.
Yep.
That's where he has him at. At 21, the Indianapolis Colts are on the clock. Mel Kiper has his pick in the mock draft. What do you think they need to do?
I think from what I saw, they addressed quarterback and cornerback. So they Xavier Rhodes got signed. Wide receiver or possibly a tackle, maybe a safety, but I think that O-line is pretty solid. I think they take a wideout here.
Let's see if there's anything out there that he wrote about. He has him taking a defensive end also from the University of Miami. Gregory Rousseau for the Indianapolis Colts. At 22, the Tennessee Titans.
Tennessee. Not a lot of work. They They lost
really?
Corey Davis. I think they're going to take a defensive lineman here. They also need some defensive end help as well.
Yeah, they need some help in those situations. They signed defensive end Danico Autry and cornerback Janoris Jenkins and outside linebacker Bud Dupree. And then on the offensive side, offensive tackle Kendall Lamb.
Dupree is a huge signing.
He has him taking a wide receiver from the University of Florida, Kadarius Toney. Yes, that's Tennessee. And then the New York Jets at 23.
Well, a lot of stuff's been covered by the Jets. I believe they take a running back here.
Okay. Let's see here. He's got them taking a linebacker. You have mentioned him before from the University of Notre Dame.
Jeremiah Owusu-Karamoah.
That's right. 24. Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers. Oof.
I don't feel good for any of my Steeler fans.
Yeah, I feel bad, man.
Hey, did I tell you this Steeler fan and a friend of ours, Ian Malloy, bowled a 300 last night?
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, good for him.
That was pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
All right. So the Steelers, number 24.
Yeah, I think, obviously they need running back help. They need linebacker help.
Hold on. They list like free agent losses and free agent additions.
All losses, except for Juju Smith.
It says the agent additions is just none. They didn't even add Juju Smith on there. They just add none.
I mean, this could be all over. It depends on who's available. I haven't taken offensive tackle here. I can really see him taking a running back if a good one's available as well.
Okay, Mel Kiper in his draft has them taking a offensive tackle as well, Tevin Jenkins.
Tevin Jenkins is very good. Out of
Oklahoma State. 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville. A lot of things here. They have 4 picks in the first 45. They still need offensive tackle help, cornerback, safety, defensive end. Depending on who's available here, I can see them either taking a cornerback or a safety.
Yep. Mel Kiper agrees this is going to be the first safety taken off the board, and for him,
Trayvon Moehrig.
Exactly, out of TCU. And then the Cleveland Browns at 26.
Cleveland Browns, not a lot of activity, but they have a very good roster. I believe they're going to take a defensive end in this draft, but I think if they do, whatever they do, that's going to be somewhere on defense, unless somehow a wide receiver falls here.
They have the hybrid of outside linebacker. He has the hybrid of outside linebacker defensive end out of Tulsa, Zaven Collins.
That is a very good call by him.
Yep. And 27, the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens, they need offensive line help, possible tight end or defensive end help. I believe they go with a offensive line, possibly even a tackle to help protect their young quarterback and open up those running lanes.
Apparently, by Mel Kiper, he's consistently been with this pick, but now that's what says he guarantees he'll go another direction, kind of like what you're saying, but he's sticking with it. Terrace Marshall, wide receiver out of LSU, is what he has for Baltimore.
Marshall's talented.
At 28, the New Orleans Saints.
Wow, the Saints are. They need a lot of stuff, man. They really do.
Their only notable free agent addition, according to Mel Kiper, is the fullback Alex Arma.
I have them going linebacker in this, an interior linebacker. You can see them possibly hitting the cornerback position, tight end, or wideouts.
Yeah, he has him sticking with specialty positions on the offense. He has him taking Tutu Atwell, wide receiver out of Louisville.
It's way too early for Tutu Atwell.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
The Green Bay Packers. Please tell me they take another quarterback at 29.
No.
No.
Green Bay. Well, they no longer need the running back covered, but I think they might want to hit a wide receiver.
Maybe.
Or an offensive tackle. You never know.
Yep.
One of those two would be my top choice. I believe finally, the Green Bay Packers take some sort of offensive help for their quarterback, and they draft him a wide receiver.
He's got him taking Greg Newsome, the second cornerback out of Northwestern.
Newsome's fine.
Let's hold on to that at 30 because we just got to wrap up here.
Yep.
Buffalo Bills, he has him taking Najee Harris at 30. At 31, Liam Eichenberg at offensive tackle for the Kansas City Chiefs. out of Notre Dame, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 32, taking Christian Barmore, defensive tackle, Alabama. All right, I guess we'll talk about this tomorrow, but I want to remind everybody about this. It is Restaurant Week in the Quad Cities.
Yay.
So the best that you can, get out there, support local. This is one of those things that when this happens this time every year, there's specials going all over. You can look it up and visit Quad Cities, all kinds of stuff. I know there's this deal for wings that I've been trying to lock down. It's all these different places for a great deal, but it's Restaurant Week. It's important. You guys all remember what happened last year about this time, what people have gone through. I will talk about this and more tomorrow on the show because I know that it's Restaurant Week and I'm going to promote it, but I just wish our Restaurant Week people, considering Visit Quad Cities or whatever else, would promote it more than just, 48 hours in advance before it launches. But you guys have every opportunity to go ahead and do it. We're going to take our break. Tomorrow we'll also have Mike on from Hidden Hills. We're going to talk to him. When the weather's nice, we're going to get out there. But we've got to let you go because I got to get the ads in. You guys have try to stay dry. Try to stay dry Tuesday and stay safe and sanitized. We will see you tomorrow, Quad Cities.
We're going streaking through the quad and into the gymnasium. Come on, everybody! You like that? You like that?
Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
This is Adam Rosso from Hawkeye Headquarters, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local.
If you own a small business, you know how hard it can be to find new customers. Now, Town Square has new tools that can help your business stand out and grow today. Go to GetLocalCustomersNow.com for a free local market competitive analysis that will show you what other businesses in town are doing to find new customers and how you can do it too with Town Square. Plus, be one of the first business